All right, welcome back. So I finished all my work on Interstellar Sentinel today, and we have a community member, MK dash Games. I want to make sure I get that right. I think his name was Mark. He joined the Shmup Creator community sometime mid last year. Very excited to come in and to work on his, I think it's one of his first shmups. So I don't know a lot about him other than a little bit of help and back and forth. So congratulations, Mark, on getting this game done. I thought we would do some quid pro quo because Mark has recently, or MK Games has recently played through Interstellar Sentinel. They were very kind, bought a copy very early on, I think last year. And they've been playtesting and giving a little feedback. So I thought we would also return the favor. So this is the first time I played this. I'm playing with a PlayStation 5 controller. I already adjusted the settings for volume to bring that down a little bit. So let me take a look here. Controller, boy. So Mark, it's a little hard to read the size of font that you put into the game here. It also looks like you've got an L1 and R1 button. Our dead zone I'll bring down a little bit more because I just know that I have a little more space on my controller. So we've got X, Y, L1, R1. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so yeah, a little bit hard to read your font there. Also with the number of the numbers you chose for volume. So when I'm moving the master volume around, it only moves, I think, in increments of 5. So it's probably not a big deal, but that means that I wonder if I can do this. Let's see here. Just take it all the way down. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Perfect. All right, cool. So it just because it's just the way that the front end was programmed, that it makes it a little bit harder for people to set individual increments. So you might want to think about doing just increments of 5, so then it flows correctly. You don't have someone having to go all the way down to the bottom just to pick like 15 or 20. So, okay, some feedback for you on that. All right, we're in full screen windowed. Also, so in the music track that you've selected for the front end, you're using this kind of, I don't know, it sounds like a music score, some kind of, so it's also relatively short and it's not looped. So it's not a huge deal, but it makes it very easy to not stay in the mood that you're trying to work with. So maybe a longer track and or a seamless loop would help quite a bit there. So because right now you have this like score thing, it kind of builds up and then this little and then it's out and then it comes back. So it's just very easy for the ear to hear that each time, and that just gives you fatigue. Whoop, and I just exited the game. Whoops, let's take a look here. All right, what's up? I got 2 executables now. You had something with your install. I already pointed that out in the over Discord here. But yeah, there's something you're trying to do to, I don't know, keys and install bits with unpacking the RAR file. You definitely want to try to avoid that. So I know we talked about piracy a little bit as well, and you really can't stop piracy. So and you're just gonna make it harder for people that want to buy your game legitimately and play it to do so. By putting more friction points in, by trying to put some kind of secondary executable key thing. Also, you lose trust when you sell something to someone from a regular site and it's not Steam, because Steam does with your executable, you get the executable gets signed. So that's Steam's way of saying, hey, we won't trigger the same levels of antivirus and things from unsigned executables. Okay. All right. God, I did it again. All right, here we go. One more time. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn this up a little bit more for me. I'll keep it low so you can hear my voice. And let me double check that I've got OBS set up. Everything seems to be going. All right, let's get our game on, shall we? I haven't seen any playtests in the community, so I'm not sure how much playtesting the game has had, but we're going to give you all of our honest opinions and see what we can do. My X button is starting to wear out on my PlayStation 5 controller. Wow. Did I do something wrong? What the hell was that? What is going on? What? What just happened here? All rights reserved on the rise, copy and distribution. Blah, blah, blah.
Ravaged by centuries of war, Earth lies in ruins, consumed by desolation. Amidst the shadows of chaos, a soldier faces the greatest tragedy of his life, the loss of his son, an innocent victim of the endless conflict. Driven by grief and fury, he joins humanity's last hope. On his spaceship, his only goal is clear.
Look, he's got a little bit of full motion video. That's not a small amount of video.
Swords of enemies and restore peace to the world aboard the ship. He becomes the last guardian of justice, defying relentless forces and revealing dark secrets. Each battle is a step towards redemption, a fight for the memory of what was lost and the promise of a better future.
All right, that's kind of cool. I appreciate that. Okay, so a little bit of small loop. We got a little preamble, some voice. Nice job, dude. That load was really long because you're loading a lot of data. By the way, this whole game's like 1.3 gigs, so it's a pretty big chunky game. To the point where, I mean, I'm sitting on a desktop machine and I thought it was broken. Okay, look at this. We got a select mode thing. Okay, all right. Oh, yeah. What is this? What?
Arcade.
Okay. Yeah, I need to increase the dead zone on my controller. Wow, these load times are something else. Woo! I think if I were you, MK, I would work on doing an optimization pass with your load times. These are huge. Let me go back to menu because I need to adjust my my dead zone. Controller, dead zone. Let's try that. MetalHead Warfare. Oh, wow. I mean, okay, so let's see here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, that's like a 22-second load time, my dude. That is just brutal. So you rolled your little like legal action thing. It's not skippable. Like you're just wasting my time. Can I skip this?
Lies in ruins,
oh wow.
By desolation.
It's not good.
A soldier faces the greatest tragedy of his life.
How do I get out of this?
The loss of his son, an innocent victim of the endless conflict. Driven by grief and
wow. Okay, you need a skip in here. You need some kind of option to. I would put a secondary short load for people to go to the video. Because if I have to watch this every time before we play, yeah, no way. You definitely don't want to waste the players' attention. And just because I need to make one change, you've captured me for almost 2.5 minutes, where I can't do anything. So just food for thought. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Four, 5. Wow, that was like a 25-second load. Yeah, you gotta. What I highly recommend. I think you're probably just using giant graphics. So you will want to do a full-on optimization path. So compress your graphics. If you don't need alpha, remove the alpha layer, because that's just they're bigger to load at the point, and they're also more expensive to render. Okay, so the cool part is we've got a controller on the right. So we have move. Yeah, I feel like your control settings for the analog stick aren't super great. They feel really floaty, or they feel really, it feels really tight. Like you don't have actual analog stick control.
Arcade.
God damn it. Flying over an item and not having to confirm is not fun. Yeah, so you should take a look at, I have a video on analog stick controls. If you're gonna support it, I highly recommend it. So they're just some settings you set in Shmuck Creator. All right, stage 1, we have bombs. Ooh. Okay, so we have the X button. Okay, so you're vertizontal. Okay, so you've got a widescreen and all right. Let's see what we got here. So we got a beam thing. We got bombs. Whoa. Oh god. What's going on? What? Wow. Okay. So, what I highly recommend is that you take a look at the visual language of your shmup. So, for instance, right, one of the things that I'm immediately having a problem with is I can't tell you the difference between the background, I guess, an enemy ship. I can see the projectiles, I think, which are good, but there's so much contrast right now, like in noise with this, that it's very hard to separate even looking at my ship. Like the difference between looking at my ship and this is very hard to visually make a distinction around. So if you haven't yet, there is a wonderful series that Boghod did that you should take a look at, because I think you would appreciate that. Take a quick look and get rid of that. YouTube. Boghod. Shmup. I think it's Shmup Design 101 or something like that. Scoring systems. Shmup Workshop.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So, definitely take a look at this. This will be super helpful for you to understand the visual language that I'm talking about. I'll just go ahead and drop this into a little a little Discord for you. All right. Let's get back to it here. Oh, by the way, your highlight color works, I guess. But a dark red usually, like language-wise, usually is like an X or a cancel, not a confirm for what's visible. So. Okay, so we got it. Whoa, shit. Oh. What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh. Okay. Dying over here. A little tickle in my throat. All right, let's try this again. Ah. What is that? There's like the side purple laser things. Let me take a look here. Take a look at that replay. Get rid of that. Yeah. Let's get. Oh, by the way, works. I don't need me. All right. So what am I looking at here? Whoa. All right. So. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So here you have these really fast enemies that are coming around this track, right? And the thing is I'm trying to take in so much of what you're trying to put out in the game that it's very hard to realize that these guys are going to come at that speed that I'm going to be able to dodge these guys. So, and those guys kind of wound up getting me there. These guys I can see pretty well. I like, oh, your little bags of money. Okay, cool. The little bags of money spitting out the enemies is pretty fun. I like this kind of background. I think that, again, it's probably just it's a lot of the contrast. Maybe you need a rim light around these enemy ships. Like look at the, in your sprite, you could put a little rim light around them in order to get them to maybe pop off the background a little bit more. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's get back to it. Man, I can't see over that smoke. Damage? I'm not sure what those stars do. The music's got the metal. They're kind of cool. I like those. With their big lasers. The lasers look pretty neat too. Oh. Yeah, it's tough with these things. Like, so this is the same thing, right? Where, I mean, I'm learning, right? But I'm also, I guess, with this coffee. But I'm also trying to understand, like, what's separate from the, oh God. Whoa, what is, what? Oh. Thought I had to dodge those sparks. Glad I didn't. Oh boy. What is that smoke coming off me? I gotta take a look at this. What is this? Yeah, so here, like I because of the lasers, I kind of get an idea that this is an enemy that I can't move into, that I shouldn't move into. But the difference between this and this is almost nothing to my eye. So I'm still trying to understand. I think one of the things you could do, again, go through the Shmup Workshop, but one of the things you can do is you can reduce the contrast on your backgrounds to make these things pop out a little bit more. So, but that wasn't the thing. So I'm taking a look. Okay, what is that? Okay, so I've got lives up here. Okay, so I got HP. Got my score. It's very hard to read the size of the font here. Okay, so this is the boss bar. But this wasn't what I wanted to check. All right, so what happened here? All right, so I think I took a big ass missile to the face. So another small thing for you, often with missiles, it's kind of nice to have a homing trail. So if I'm trying to dodge these things, I know what to see or where it's coming from. You kind of have it with the smoke bits. I can't tell if it's the missile or if it's me taking damage. No, I mean, I took some damage there, right? No? Okay, okay. So here's the thing. All right, so you can see it here. So let me see if I can find a better example. All right, there we go. Great example. Okay, cool. By the way, these are cool looking. I like these interesting looking lasers. I think aesthetically, I like what you're going for. Like I think it just needs to be refined. Okay, so here you can see that I've got the player ship, right? And then I'm gonna take some damage here. There we go. And so I take damage, and you put smoke over the ship. And look at this. I can't see my player ship anymore. Like the ship is gone. So this, coupled with everything else in the environment, makes it, like I know where I was at, but it gives me this panic moment where I'm like, am I invulnerable? Am I going to take more damage? How do I understand what to dodge next? And I can kind of get an understanding where I'm at from like my bullet stream here, but I mean, check that out. That is like, okay, let me take a look here. So from the point I take that damage, all right, so we're at 35. All right, so I basically don't have visibility anymore until right about there. So I get out from under that. So it's about a second. Not quite, is it? Yeah, it's about 0.3 of a second. So it creates a lot of visual noise and makes it hard for me to understand what to do after it. So that's the main thing. So what I would recommend doing is trying to clean up the smoke and burning debris that you did, or at least push it away from the player so like you can have an impact there. So you might want to work on that as well, just to improve conveyance. Wow. Jesus. Wow. Cool. I mean, what? Like... Okay. Oh, there's a super weapon. Yeah, the not having good analog stick controls really hurts. Okay. So check this out. I've got a meception here. Okay. So. Okay. So here, check this out. So you have pretty fast moving projectiles, fair enough. You've got a lot of hit points and things, so I guess part of your design might be to take damage, but one of the things I'm finding a problem with is I don't want to take damage, but it's very, very hard for me, skill levels vary, to read what's going on with the boss attacks, and then to respond to those boss attacks, right? So you have this section here where you have these lasers that appear, and amidst everything else, they're very difficult to dodge. So I'm just taking damage right here, right? So I also, I mean, did I take damage from that? I can't even tell when I'm taking damage from your projectiles on the player ship. I think I'm flashing because I'm invulnerable there. I scooch over. Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's very hard to parse what's going on in this fight. I'd also recommend. So you're kind of throwing the kitchen sink at me, right? And I'm still trying to learn each of the boss patterns. One of the things I really like is when you separate the patterns, so I can learn them piece by piece, and then you layer them back up, and then mix them together, so then I know how to deal with each of the pieces. So for instance, right, like when you do the side lasers from this guy here, having the side lasers here, with, you know, like at least a few times before you have all the other bullets, would be very helpful for me trying to build up how to fight this guy. But I also, the other big thing that you have at your disadvantage, I mean, those things are, the other thing here is, check this out. So when you have these big glowy bits like this, do I dodge the whole thing this way? When you have a lot of soft glowiness, it's very hard to understand what I need to do to get out of the way of it. So, you know, that's just your visual language. So, and look at the kitchen sink here. Here comes this kitchen sink attack, right? Like, all right. So what do I do to get out of this? Let's see here. All right. What was the play here? So I had this. So I could have. First of all, what happened here? I think I got hit by that. Oh yeah. So check this out. So unfortunately in Shmup Creator, we don't have a good way to control which bullets are at the top of the visual order. So you have these like metal bullets that are basically shooting, but they're covered up by this purple bullet here and this purple drill bullet there. The drill bullet's kind of neat. And so I saw these, but then this guy got me, I think, right here. Yeah, right there. No, it was this guy. That was it right there. The other thing here, also check this out, is when you have a bullet here that's doing the impact, when it turns into a big like gray, like poofy cloud thing, which I think is the player effect. I mean, this is so muddy at this point. Like I don't even know what to do. I'm not even sure I got hit. That's the other side, right? So man, some food for thought. So I think one of the things I would recommend, right, is to take a look at your bullet spawns. I mean, check it out what we have here, right? Like we have these bullets, we have these bullets. So that's one, that's two. You have the circle ones, so that's three. You have the drilly ones, which is four. You have the metal ones, which is five, right? Was that it? And I want to go back to, I think so. So you have 5 different types of bullets for me to track that I have that I'm barely getting the understanding of. So just, you know, you want to think about maybe how you want to design the way the bullets are going to layer and what I need to look for. Also, generally, the more dangerous a bullet is, the bigger, like the bullets at home are definitely more dangerous because you have to move. So you can kind of also prioritize the danger of bullets by their size. So if you have big homing shells like this, then you could take these smaller purple spheres and you could make them smaller. And so if they are smaller, it'll be easier to see these bigger ones that are moving across the screen. Okay, so how do I, what was the play here to get out of this? So let's just pretend I'm not paying attention here. So I could have come out here maybe. I think these are homing shots too, these little guys on top of it. I know that bullet graphic. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the lasers forced me over and I got chonked there. I'm also struggling with the analog stick controls. So here, okay, I think I need to play more. Visually, I can't even tell. I think if I'm looking at stuff like this, right? I mean, the thing is the curtain came down this way, so I might have been able to scooch out this way a bit more. I probably could have scooched out over here, but I need to see how these bullets are actually tracking towards me. So, all right, why don't we jump back into it? So, yeah, something crowd. Oh, I can bomb, right? What the? Your bullet speeds are something else, buddy. Okay, so some of those, some of your bullets are destructible, like those ones with the little teardrop bits, and some aren't. What I would recommend that you try to do is separate your bullets into physicality. So, like for instance, one of my tricks is if it's a missile, because it's physical and it's homing, then you can destroy those. If it's energy or plasma or beamy, you can't destroy those. So it kind of helps to, you know, create a bit of language, visual language around the functionality of bullets. Wow.
Victory.
Victory. All right. I don't. Okay. I don't know if I can skip this or make it faster, but it would be nice to have it be skippable. I wasn't sure what was going on with all the bits and bobs. Victory and clapping. Coffee break. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. Check this out. Let's see here. All right. So you do this crossfade from the stage. That's cool, but here's the thing. Check it out. I'm still seeing all of this visual noise, and then you've got enemies here that actually put in danger spots, right? That are coming towards me. I have no idea. Like it's kind of cheap. Like I don't have almost any time to respond to those, right? And so by the time you finish that crossfade, you've got enemies here. I started kind of in the middle. It's anytime you do damage to the player, and it's very hard to understand why you took the damage, in this case because of your visuals, and that crossfade, it doesn't feel good. So it's going to frustrate players. What I recommend, it's cool that you've got this. Just start those guys just a tiny bit, like, especially with how noisy your palette is. So just finish the crossfade, 1 second, 2 second, right? Then have these guys come in. So yeah, just food for thought. All right, let's see here. Whoa. Oh shit. Oh god. Can I kill those things? Oh god. Oh, that was cool. All right, look at the depth here. This is cool. So this is really cool. This is cool. I like this presence of the world you've got going on down here. It makes my eye look in the background. It feels enormous, which is really hard to do. And it feels alien and cool. So nice job on that. Whoa. What's up, Sparky, Speedy? Oh, those guys got me inside. That was my fault. So the missiles from this guy, you can't see them against that black background. Very hard to dodge. This guy does have a health bar. Oh God, what is what's happening? Whoa. Oh, look, there's a big rotating sphere plate. That's kind of cool. Oh, all right. Whoa, look at that. Oh, that's kind of trippy. Nice. Oh, God. Whoa. Okay. It's not really fun to dodge these missiles. I mean, I guess if I just keep moving, maybe. Bomb? I don't know. I had that. Oh God. So when this thing whirls around a little bit, it actually kind of gives me a tiny bit of motion sickness, especially since you're whirling the enemy gems around. Whoa. Those guys take a bunch of shots. God. Brutal. You got this guy in the corner here. This guy doesn't even die with a single bomb. Like, what? Is he killable? I don't know. I don't know. Wow. Well, the visuals were something there in terms of catching my eye. There's an explosion. Did I explode? What happened there? Oh God. Oh Jesus. What? I don't. This stuff's like almost undodgeable, homie. Like, so. Oh God, those are cool. Oh, what am I shooting? I'm shooting green. What happened? What's going on? What? I don't. Am I powering up? I have no idea right now. Oh God. See that? Oh, I got dooged by the metal bone ship train, bonefish train. Oh God. Who's that? Oh God. That guy is so hard to like see and dodge. Oh, look, he hit me from the side.
Victory.
Okay. I wanna play now. Want more? I wanna play more. No, there's medals up there in the corner. Coffee break. Well, I'm surprised the engine can do this. I mean, you've got a lot of graphics that are very, very heavy. So a lot of big full screen graphics. Oh yeah. Oh god. Those are cool. 2,000. Oh god. What is that? That's a. Oh god. Ooh, these guys are hard to read too against the background. Tilt-a-whirl! Let's just bomb this. Man, your bombs are not like, they don't do a lot of damage. Generally with bombing, it's usually like a screen clear or it does a boatload of damage to the bosses. You probably want to increase the damage of your bombs. What is going on even? You might want to put some health bars on these guys. Just like, oh, I got douche. Oh, there now a bar appeared, probably for the boss. I don't. Was that an X-wing? Oh. Oh. I'm stuck. Oh wow. Okay. So, so it looks like with this big chunky sprite, I am not able to I was like, oh, this is collision. The collision is like out here. So it feels really bad to not be able to get close to these things. So I thought something was broken, and then when I'm colliding with invisible colliders like that, because there's no visualization for it. It makes controlling the craft harder through the world, so I feel like something's broken. And you can see me sliding on this big thing. Oh, same thing here. Look at the oh wow, this feels terrible. Okay, you definitely want to do a collision pass here on the weird machine insectoid things too. Oh. I don't. Cool. So I can reach it with the laser, but the bomb didn't destroy it. Okay. One up. Oh, the guitar riff for the one up is neat. I think you might want to also try to lean into, you got this metal flavor, right? Like, and this is cool. The weapon sound effects sound weak in comparison. It's this little choop, 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 right? Like maybe think about how you would want to bring your sound design of the world into this metal kind of flavor, into like the weaponry and more specifically, I mean like the shooting sounds from the player, the bomb sound, stuff like that. All right. It's getting even faster. Yeah. Sorry, dude. This is not. So, your bullet speeds and frenzy of attacks are so fast, and they're so varied, and they're so relentless. All those things could be nice, don't get me wrong, but it means that I don't really have a lot of hope at being successful right now, even if I practiced at trying to dodge all these things. They're almost borderline undodgeable. And I feel like if I am dodging a volley of something, I'm getting lucky just because I'm moving back and forth through the play space. I think that what you really want to do is you want to go back through and retune your bullet speeds. Otherwise, this feels like just like an arbitrary visual roller coaster machine where I'm taking damage, I'm doing some damage, but the skill in the gameplay that I'm looking for is to not get damaged. And to be able to clearly see, and you can have lots of crazy patterns, don't get me wrong, but to clearly see the patterns and know how to dodge out of them. So like you have in these cases, like these really small shortwave like beams. I mean, let's, you know, like, look at that. And then like everything is so fast. I mean, I'd love to see you play this and show me how it's done. Because it just could just be that, you know, it's me. Oh, that guy pushes you out of the way, by the way. So, let's take a look here. Take a look at this. All right. Let's see. So, this guy here, and I mentioned this already. Hey, where'd my little thing go? There we go. So, you have this invisible collision box here, and it's actually pushing me this way. So now that I'm getting pushed out of the way, I don't have a way to go underneath. I can't get past this guy here, right here, right? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be shooting this guy, which I'd like to. I feel like that's kind of the case. But because he's pushing me, that means he's going to also push me into enemy attacks. And I'm not sure, like, where's my space? Where's my safe space? Is it up here? Is it in this corner on top of my head? Is it over here? So I don't know, just, you know, like the way that you're designing the encounters, that's kind of what's happening there. So you got this bullet hell thing, right? I can't quite tell. Is my damage, is my vulnerability spot here? Is it the whole ship? You don't really have a lot of good conveyance when I'm getting hit. And I know in the engine, it's not great either. It's only a little flash on the sprite. You know, so maybe a more distinct hit sound. I'm trying to understand like where, you know, like in a lot of like bullet hell style of games, you would have maybe your vulnerability spot right here, right? And then it would be glowy sparkly. I did a little tutorial on how you can attach an FX emitter to your player craft to enable this sparkly shiny spot, which is pretty standard in bullet hell style of games.
Victory!
Victory! I like that you rolled your own like in-level screen and your intro screen, so nice job on that. Again, these would be nice if we could skip them a little faster. I did a little video in my tutorial tips and tricks series where you can do a press and hold. It's very easy to script together, and you can put in the bottom right corner like, you know, 1, 3, 2, 1 type of thing if you want. So take a look. If you just do a search for like a cutscene skip or something like that. I'm so spoiled by PlayStation 5 loading times. Stage 4, halfway there. Wait, did my bullets change? Why do I have icy bullet things now? Is that, I don't understand. Did I do that? Was that a power up from the last level? Look at these guys. Laser grid. Oh. Yeah, again with the collisions, your collisions are not really great. Makes it harder to dodge. Wow. Oh, I bounced off the collision of that thing. Oh, wow. And also, by the way you respawn in Shmup Creator, you don't have control over your spawn location. So when you spawn back into these enemies that have this big collision, then you get pushed out of the collision. So it makes you feel like you're out of control. You can fix that a little bit by increasing the invulnerability time you have on respawn. So then you can at least fly out of it. But yeah, it's definitely a thing you got to design for. What's up? Yeah, this is fun. Up. Oh, I like your little particle layer. That's cool. Check these out. We got these. This is cool. You're spending a boatload of sprite memory on this, I bet. But these little particle noise stuff. This is cool. But oh no! Yeah! Oh, this is cool. Look, you get these ice things. Wow, like bomb does not do shit. What happened here? Aw. I like the idea. That was kind of cool. Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I shit myself. What a carry.
Oh my god, I shit myself. What a carry. Oh gosh. Yeah. Ooh, riff. That's kind of cool. I like these, like, I know, ice shelf things. I'm not sure what I got in the backside of there. Oh, I bombed. Wow. So you might want to flag that enemy that was in the middle there for, I forget if you flag it as invulnerable or you turn off the collision on it, then the homing beam, it's not a big deal here, but the homing beam won't track towards that. So I like the pacing you have here through these. Whoa, still dodgeable. Oh, that's cool. Oh, middle crab. Middle crab news. Oh, am I going underneath? Oh, I'm underneath. Middle crab. Hey. Yeah. I can't kill you. Why would just promote you? Die. Those guys could use a few less hit points, maybe, or I could be more powered up. I don't know. Like I couldn't tell you because I'm not quite sure. Ooh. Chuff, 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 chuff. Here we go. Ooh, I got a thing, whatever that was. That was like a little. Getting a phone call. What's up? Give me just a second. I'll pause this. And we're back. The old goat, my dad called. He's 71, so he's he's fighting that good fight. It's hard when you're 71. All right, so I told him what we were up to and that we're getting back to it. Okay, so here we go. We're in the middle of this crazy bullet stuff, and holy bully. Oh, I don't. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the pattern. I think some of that pattern was doable. Man, it would be nice to be able to kill those things. Was that thing shooting at me while the warning was up? I don't. What was that? I don't. You really like your rotating boss guys. Oh. All right. So. Let's take a look. Oh, did I? Okay, there we go. All right. What are those balls? They're like hexagonal bally things. Okay. So when you do this, right? Like I get it. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is my space to move in. So I'm mostly okay with kind of tracking that through, right? And then you're like, all right, cool. Here comes the bullet curtains, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. These bullet curtains, because they started pretty soon. Sorry, the bullet curtain because they started visually while I was in the laser field, right? I was like, all right, cool. These are kind of the things that are important. By the way, when you have all of these particles on top of the bullets, it makes it harder to see the bullets themselves because there's a lot of additional visual noise. It's not the end of the world though. But then what happens, right, is that, oh God, dude, I didn't even notice. So then you throw the kitchen sink at me here, right? Like with these chonky ball things. I'm like, all right, and they come really fast. And then I just realized you also have these like these shells on top of it. So you're catching my attention with these, and then you're just hitting me over the head with this stuff. And it makes it hard to parse out again, like what I'm supposed to be doing in this case. It feels pretty. It feels surprising, but not in a good way. Oh look, I'm getting pushed in with the ice. The ice and the bad collision. Oh, I just got pushed out of the collision. Oh, look, he's got battle damage on the boss. That's kind of neat. Yeah, you really got to work on your analog stick controls. Oh. It gets me every time. Oh boy. Good damage there. What's going on with the bot? Why didn't the boss update? Did you have a fade out on the music there? Wow, this guy takes a lot of damage. Did the boss bar break? I don't understand.
Victory.
All right, what are we doing on time here? So we're coming up on an hour. Maybe we'll another level or two. Jim. Jim. There we go. I like the flow you have here for the most part. It's noisy still, visually. A little too noisy. With I think I'm stuck? What is that? I don't know. Like, your missiles definitely need, they definitely need visual love. Oh, what's going on? I'm stuck on some, wow. Okay, this is just awful. This collision is awful. It's not working the way you want it to. Wow, okay. Yeah, bombs are like almost worthless. What was that? You really like your big rotating sprites? I think they're getting a little overused. I would recommend changing it up a little bit. I mean, I can barely move. Like, I'm stuck on the collision. Cool. This guy. I mean, I might have power-ups, I'm not sure. Alright, I respawned right up in front of that guy's face. These are like token coin things. These are kind of fun to collect. Oh, stuck again on funky collision. All right. Okay. Whew. All right. Well, so let's see here. Metalhead. Okay. So. All right. So. You definitely want to work on your visuals. Your load times are absolutely terrible. I mean, they're really bad. So that you definitely, I mean, people, I mean, I'm on like a Core i9 full on desktop. So people that have older computers are going to take 3 to 6 times longer to load, and that's just going to be, they're not going to play because they want to get to the game. So we talked about your presentation layer. So and one of the ways you can solve that, right, is you can go back through all of your assets and then scale them down resolution wise, where it makes sense, right? Like if you don't need any alpha for some of your background sprites, make sure you turn off your alpha channel and export your sprites there. I think your bullet speeds, they're too fast overall. But they're also not as consistent. So like if the game had a pace in which your bullet speeds were continuously in the same spectrum, then I think you could I could warm up to that and kind of get into that. And be better at trying to dodge that. So your analog stick controls are not good right now. They're way too floaty. So again, take a look in the tips and tricks on how to configure that. And by floaty, I mean if I press just a little bit in each direction, I go way too fast. There's no range. So in terms of the analog stick range, you've got a lot of stuff. I mean, there's some really cool creative ideas in some of your stage designs and your environments. Again, you've got to do a pass on your collision. There's just stuff that does not feel good, and you're bouncing off a lot of invisible collision. So I would recommend going back over and really doing a thorough pass on where you want to have collision of the environment, where you want to have a collision with enemies, and what that looks like. I thought the weapons were interesting. I feel like a lot of the bosses had maybe a tiny bit too much health. I can't tell though, because I'm not, if there were upgrades that I could upgrade to, I wasn't getting them because I was dying quite a bit. You definitely want to work on your ship vulnerability. It's very hard to understand when I'm taking damage and from where and why. And some of that is priority of bullets. Some of that is the visual design for bullets. Some of that is your not having a vulnerable weak spot for the player. Some of that is the collision of the player. I don't have any idea. You definitely have a lot of bullet hell leanings in your designs. And I don't know if they're leanings. You're full on. You got a lot of bullet hell. But they're, because of the speeds, especially like with a lot of your guide lasers and things like that, things are just coming so fast at the player. It feels like you legitimately don't have a good way to dodge it. So and maybe your goal is not to have players be able to play the game without taking damage. I always feel like in the back of my mind, though, the holy grail is to be able to play through the game without taking taking damage. There are different shmup designs that have accounted for that, like Signy kind of came to that conclusion with their floaty controls with a little bit of momentum, that they gave you kind of a shield system and you could take damage. And so if you can't dodge a bunch of bullets, you then, manage your resources to get through them. And if that's what you're going for, like it's up, it's your call. You're the operator, the designer, right? So I just don't understand from my side what you want from me in that respect. Is it to be able to successfully dodge all the bullets in the patterns? If it is, then I'd love to see someone else playing it, or you playing it, to show me how it's done. You need a lot of playtesting, bud. I don't know how much playtesting you've got here. This game's rough. I wouldn't be selling this game right now if I were you. I think you would leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And I think you need to optimize, improve your gameplay, improve your controls, improve your visual design, and playtest. You need anyone you can find to help you playtest. You definitely want to do that with that. I think on the positive side, again, I think there were some really cool ideas with the visuals. I like a lot of what you're going. You got this kind of metal aesthetic, right? Like you've got this really high graphic style. It's very AI generated, but it's not so heavily generated that I think it gets in the way. So it's cool. I think there's a lot of game here too, right? Like 8 stages, and that was about an hour with me taking it. So it's probably about an hour to play through, not counting the load times and all of that. It's a bit of a slog. So I think I mentioned it towards the end as well. You have a lot of big rotating enemies, and by the time I saw those big rotating enemies on like the 5th stage and for the bosses, I was a little fatigued by it, right? So one of the things you want to do, just like you're doing with some of your level designs, when you did the ice level, like with the cool ice shelves kind of closing in, there was really good stuff. Like that was exciting. I really like that. And you want to think about for each of your different bosses, it felt like a lot of them were very samey. Rotate, lots of bullets, right? And I feel like you want to either change up your patterns a bit, change up the style of the boss. The other side of this too is that you are vertizontal. So the gameplay is a little bit, it's a vertical game, but it's very widescreen. So that means that because it's widescreen, you don't have as much space to dodge all of these crazy patterns and at the speeds you want to dodge them at. It's, like I've seen some other games that have done vertizontal. I haven't really seen very good vertizontal games yet. And I think a lot of it is just that you have to design for that space. Because when you have a normal 3x4 or 4x3, you have a taller screen, even though you don't have the width. But that gives you more time to react to a lot of the stuff that you're reacting to. So just food for thought. And then probably a final note for you. Nice job. This is a boatload of work, right? Like I definitely get it. I understand. But you're not done yet. Like that the real hard part of the craft comes from, again, playtesting, iteration, tuning, right? You know, like, I think that there's a lot to be said for that. You know, these are just my opinions. You know, I would, you know, go out there and get as many opinions as you possibly can. You know, you're looking for people that'll become champions of your game, you know, that will give you lots of time so you can watch them develop over time as they get better at your game. You know, we talked briefly about the front end in terms of your menus and your I think your fonts are a little bit small, a little bit harder to read. Granted, I'm getting older, so take it for a grain of salt. I thought it was also kind of difficult to read your gauges. I'd probably add a little more backing. Granted, we don't have a ton of HUD variety, but you can replace those elements, and you can, you know, create a bit more make it easier to see the different elements themselves. So we talked about lots of stuff. So video for you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for an advanced copy of the game. We talked briefly about the install piracy thing. Whatever you got going on here, just don't do that, because you know, those are each points of friction. There's nothing you can do to stop pirates from pirating. It's just not possible. And every time you think you can do something, pirates will just find a way around it. So it's a losing arms race. The people that are going to buy your game are going to buy your game. The people, you know, like the moment you put it on Steam, there's so much automation around it that the game gets ripped, pirated, and it's already up the same day. So, and, you know, look at it as a form of marketing, like, because otherwise there's no real recourse for you. So, you know, you're also never going to make enough money to make it worth protecting. That's the other side of this. I mean, even at the high end, I mean, I did comparables for our comparables with the Devil Blade reboot, which was a wildly successful game in the community, PC, Steam only. Fantastic game. You know, like, a lot of people love it. I know why. And I'd probably estimate that the game probably made the operator around, you know, somewhere between around $60,000. So it's not a small amount of money. That's amazing, right? But that's also, this guy worked on the game 6+ years, and even at that level, trying to go after other people with piracy, you don't really have any legal recourse. So it's just, where do you want to spend your time and attention? Would you rather spend it making a better game or chasing and fighting piracy, right? And look, that's a personal question for you to think about in terms of your business and making games, and, you know, and technology, and, you know, like, welcome to the club, right? It's something that all companies think about. So with that being said, yeah, there's a lot to be done. I hope that you can break this down to a task list and keep trucking. And I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, like, what your next versions look like. So thank you very much. Take care.